Namaste friends. I am back with a video on my channel after a small break. In this video, I will look back at the 2024 Indian election and also look ahead and try to weigh in on some questions that people may be having about the future course. First, I will look at what went right at a big picture level, and then there are some specifics that went wrong. So I will look at what went wrong and try to reconcile them honestly, and then I will also point out something about the United Kingdom and France elections that happened recently and talk about some links between planets and geopolitical trends. And then I will weigh in on what is ahead because a lot of people are concerned, even BJP supporters, even though BJP won, are concerned that this NDA government may fall if a couple of allies leave the government and join the India alliance. The government may fall, so there is some concern and nervousness about political instability. So I will weigh in on what is ahead for India, for BJP, Congress, Narendra Modi ji, Rahul Gandhi ji, and also recently I came across the chart of Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji. It's a really impressive chart. Right now the time is not great. From 2019 August, a bad time started, but it is going to end soon, and really superb times are ahead for this chart. So I may do a dedicated video on his chart later on, but I want to weigh in and show some interesting things in his chart in this video. First, I want to talk about a couple of events that happened recently. On June 22, we conducted a Homa workshop in Dallas. It was organized by Global Hindu Heritage Foundation, and big thanks to them. A few pictures from there, being invited to the venue, and then I gave a presentation on the importance of Homa, how to do Homa, what is the meaning of various steps, and I addressed a lot of common questions, and then we actually did Homa. And before that, on June 6 to 8 weekend, I was at Ashvidya Gurukulam in Sellersburg, Pennsylvania, established by Swami Dayanand Saraswati ji, and I taught Jyotish in the Jyotish Kumbh Mela there. I also organized a Homa workshop there. People did not do Homa, I just showed Homa. I talked about Homa and I did a Homa, and I was also felicitated there. So a few pictures from there. They honored me. They basically recognized my contributions to spreading Jyotish in the world, and this is basically when I was being honored, and also honored. I was really blessed to be on the same stage with her, being honored as well as teaching alongside her. She is for those who don't know her, she is Gayatri Devi Vasudev. Srimati Gayatri Devi Vasudev is the daughter of Dr. B.V. Raman, the father of modern astrology in India, and she's a very nice, sweet, gentle, sattvic lady and very knowledgeable lady. If you don't know of her magazine, it's called Modern Astrology. She's a worthy successor of her father, so it's a good idea to read her magazine, Modern Astrology, a monthly. This is the picture from the Homa that I conducted, and they have a nice room for doing Homa at the Ashvidya Gurukulam, so it was done there. And you can see I have a mobile setup there. Also, there will be a Homa workshop in Albuquerque, New Mexico on August 31. The date is finalized, but the further registration details, how you can register, etc., will be announced later. In general, if you want to follow these events, if you want to get news about these events ahead, I suggest following me on either Twitter or Facebook or both. My Facebook handle is PVR 108 and my Twitter handle is Homam 108. So if you follow there, I don't post a lot, but basically events like this you will know ahead. Now let's get into astrology. So what went right? I said in February that it will be a much closer election than people are thinking. I also said that this is Rahul Gandhi's best chance in his life to basically become successful and become Prime Minister. Though I thought his chart does not have potential for being Prime Minister, this is his best chance. I also said that there is a chance that BJP may have to depend on allies and may not get outright majority. The final number I gave for it was 280. For that, I said that it will be between the 2014 level of success and 2019 level of success, but closer to 2014. So 2014 BJP itself got 272 seats, and 2019 I think 300 plus some, I forgot the exact number. So it will be 302 or something. So it in between but closer to 272. So I came up with something like 280. So that was not right. BJP got only 240 seats. And along with the allies they got 290 some seat, 294 or some seats. So just thinking back, my just doing a post-mortem and thinking back, I think putting numbers is a really tricky business. In general, astrology shows the level of success, but that is basically based on the Deshakala Patra. The Deshakala Patra will set the baseline, and then the horoscope basically shows with respect to that baseline. It modulates that baseline. So in 2014, Manmohan Singh ji's government was in power for 10 years. So basically, any fatigue will be helping the opposition, helping BJP. Whereas in 2024, Narendra Modi ji has been in power for 10 years. So any fatigue will basically be anti-BJP. And moreover, we went through COVID and all the economic disturbance in the world because of COVID. So there is a lot of angst in the world. If you look around, basically there's a lot of changes happening. So all that angst is basically not pro status quo. So the anti-status quo forces based on Desikala Patra, especially based on Kala there, in 2014 was pro-BJP, but in 2024 is anti-BJP. So taking that fact into account, perhaps 240 seats in 2024 is perhaps slightly better than 272 in 2014, considering the Desikala Patra. So that is my final assessment. But the bottom line is, one thing I was clear about is no 400, no 350 like most other analysts were basically taking for granted. People were thinking that it is almost assured, but that I got right. Also, I said that Rahul Gandhi will have success this time. Basically, this is his best. Of course, he only got 99 seats, his party, but his alliance, the India alliance, got 200 plus seats. So basically, that's a positive. So that also I was right. And a few things I went wrong. One is Yogi Adityanath. I said that it's a good day for him. So the results will be positive for him. But in the state of Uttar Pradesh, BJP did very poorly. So perhaps my suspicion is the rumors about intra-party politics, because Yogi Adityanath ji is seen as potentially the next Prime Minister who will replace Narendra Modi ji, and there are other contenders. So there is some intra-party politics. So there are strong rumors that there was an attempt to suppress Yogi ji, and then even the candidates in Uttar Pradesh state were selected without consulting him. As a matter of fact, anybody he recommended was basically not considered. So if that rumor is right, basically this loss can actually be a positive for him in the long run. It can increase his grip on the party, especially in the state. So that is perhaps how I can reconcile. And as far as Sri Annamalai is concerned, from a long-term perspective, he's running a dasha that basically shows ascending to power. I said that not the next state elections, but the one after that, I expect that he will be the chief minister. I still stick to it. I did confidently say that he will win this election. Basically, he ran as MP. I was wrong, and I know many people are upset. I'm a big Annamalai fan. I'm really upset by it. But the thing is, realistically, when a party goes from zero, builds from zero, suddenly winning is not really that easy. So he got 30% vote share, and apart from him, the BJP party, wherever they contested, on average they got 20+% vote share, which is basically for a party that was nothing, that was zero in the state earlier. Just in a few years, that's really a big rise. So I think the graph is trending in the right direction, and I'm afraid I was too unrealistic in expecting uh, how much he can achieve in just a couple of years, because he's been really in this for a couple of years. But I am, and one thing people pointed out to me on social media is maybe I have the wrong chart. I guarantee you the chart I have is the correct chart. The chart I used in one of my previous videos. Uh, he directly gave it to a Swamiji who gave it to me, and the Swamiji knows him well and he knows me well. And also later, a close family member talked to me and confirmed that the time is accurate. So basically, of course, my rectification may be wrong and it may be off by a minute or two, but basically, there's no large scale error in the time. So the chart is basically correct. I do believe that, and taking the party from 0% to 20+% is a big deal. He will keep making progress. In the next state elections, he will have credible performance, and the one after that, I do still expect that he will be the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. And God willing, it may be even earlier. I just want to give an example of Pavan Kalyan, the Andhra leader. He contested last elections in 2019 in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and his party won 0 seats. They contested multiple seats, but they won 0 seats. And he himself contested 2 seats, not just 1 but 2. He lost both of them. But now he's the Deputy Chief Minister of the state. And every seat his party contested in 2024, he won. So the thing is, and he was in the same position, same boat that Annamalai is now. He was basically rebuilding the party. He started the party in 2014, and in 2019 he was basically still in formative stages. Whereas Annamalai, he's been in politics for just a couple of years. He's been in the BJP party. So I suggest to Annamalai fans to be patient. He is here to stay. He will become Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, and I will not be surprised if he becomes India Prime Minister one day. And then Jagan and Andhra Pradesh elections. When it comes to Pavan Kalyan chart, who became the Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, I did make a video on him in 2022 on my channel. And like I said earlier in this video, he got 0 seats. He lost both the seats he contested himself directly, and everybody from his party lost in 2019. And in my video, I said that in 2024, he'll have a good level of success. Basically, his graph will keep increasing. Compared to 2019, 2024 is much better. Compared to 2024, 2029 is much better. So I showed in that video that he will keep rising in Andhra politics. But I did expect YS Jaganmohan Reddy to continue to basically survive this election. And here, when I reflected, one thing I honestly realized is I was basically, being somebody from Andhra Pradesh, I really wanted BJP to establish itself and become strong in Andhra Pradesh. So I think I was, instead of looking at what is likely astrologically, also what is good for the state of Andhra Pradesh, I was looking at what is good for BJP's stock to rise in Andhra Pradesh state. So that was biasing my thinking. So I'm afraid I made some wrong calculations. And when it comes to Jagan's chart, I gave a caveat in the last video. I said that there are some questions about his data. An astrologer told me that an accurate birth time was given by his mother, Jagan's mother, to him, and it's not any of the data that people are using in the mainstream. So basically, he didn't tell me what is the correct time, but he suggested that it's not what I have is most likely wrong. So I basically put a caveat that I'm not confident. Later, it was confirmed to me from reliable sources that the chart I was using is correct chart. So I believe that I did have the right chart, but I made a wrong call. And I think that when I do a post-mortem, when I look back at Jagan's chart, my assessment is I made the same mistake I made in the chart of KCR. Basically, I said that KCR will win the last year's election, but his good time is ending soon. So this is the last time he's winning and he will fall later. And even in Jagan's case, I said in a previous video that Jagan will survive 2024 election, but in 2025-2026 time frame, a big fall is coming from him. So the thing is, when somebody's good time is about to end, even if the annual charts are showing that the year can be good, still they can basically lose the election. In other words, depending on the karma, depending on the good or bad the person has done in this life, the good results may start slightly earlier than a good dasha starts, or bad results can start slightly earlier than a bad dasha starts. So basically, it's not necessary that when the dasha changes, like a switch is flipped, things change basically. So it can be a few years plus minus. So I think I made the same mistake with KCR. I made the same mistake with Jagan. So my expectation is basically the fall that I mentioned for 2050, 2025, 2026 has come already. Basically, he's lost the election, and basically I think he's basically done. Uh, and I don't have chart of Nara Chandrababu Naidu, but one thing I can say is based on Paval Kalyan chart, his stock will keep rising. So based on Nara Lokesh chart, which I may discuss in detail later, but at a high level basically, this year is good for him, good for his father, but overall he has some limitations in his chart. So if Sri Chandrababu Naidu Garu tries to project Nara Lokesh as the next leader or next chief minister, that can be problematic for the party and that can lead to troubles in the party. And it's not impossible that Pawan Kalyan goes alone in the next elections. So bottom line is by 2029 there will be huge changes in the state. So it is very difficult to predict what will happen. But one thing I can say confidently is Jagan is mostly done and Pawan Kalyan, his graph will only keep rising. And I also said that Mamata Banerjee will not do great, and I believe she did great. At this stage, basically, I'm not so sure if the Mamata Banerjee chart I'm using is accurate because it's not really from any reliable sources, unlike the charts of Pawan Kalyan, Annamalai, Yogi Adityanath, Devendra Fadnavis, etc. So I'm afraid the chart I have may be wrong. So I should basically not make predictions on Mamata Banerjee, especially if there are any other West Bengal leader charts, if they come to me, like for example, maybe Suvendu Adhikari ji, or if Mithunda starts playing a more active role and I have his chart, like that, if there are some other key charts, maybe I can combine them and I can make some predictions about West Bengal. Otherwise, I should perhaps keep quiet on West Bengal. Now, UK and France elections. In both UK and France, the left wing came to power. The right wing had big setbacks. In France, in the first round, it seemed like the right wing is coming to power, but they were denied that opportunity in the second round. One point I want to make is this is something you can check many years back. In general, results of elections are influenced by the charts of leaders and the countries, etc. But there is one large macro astrological trend: Saturn and Jupiter. These planets move very slowly. Saturn is in the same sign for 2.5 years, and Jupiter is in the same sign for 1 year. So they move very slowly compared to other planets like Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, etc. And using the transits, we can basically see how the mood is in the world. Saturn is the planet. Saturn is the planet of equality, justice, bringing up the downtrodden, etc. He stands for downtrodden. After all, he himself is basically the son of a servant maid. So Saturn shows equality, justice, socialism, etc. So, and Jupiter, he's the teacher of gods, and he shows religion, conservative values, etc. So, in general, when Jupiter is strong, conservative agendas and right-wing agendas tend to do well in world politics, and when Saturn is strong, left-wing agendas and socialist agendas tend to do better. And this is just a general trend. Obviously, the individual charts also play a role, but this is like the baseline trend, and you can see that in both United Kingdom and Saturn has been in one sign for several years. Particularly, he's in Mola Trikona. He's very strong in Aquarius since last year, and he will be there till next March, 2025 March. So Saturn is very strong. On the other hand, Jupiter is in Taurus. It's an inimical sign. He's in the sign of an enemy. So Jupiter is weak and Saturn is strong. So currently, this is a time that is conducive to left-wing and socialist agendas doing better than right-wing and conservative agendas. So that is one thing. But the thing is, see, if you look at India, in India, the right-wing basically won. But the thing is, I beg to differ on Narendra Modi ji being a right-wing leader. though there are some conservative values there, especially when it comes to economics and religion, etc. In general, he, Narendra Modi ji and BJP are centrist parties, or maybe central right parties. They are not really right wing parties. Moreover, if you look at their agenda, there are a lot of social justice items. So there are some socialist items also in their agenda. So, but nevertheless, so the thing is, and moreover, based on the individual charts, Rahul Gandhi doesn't have the chance of being prime minister in his chart, and Modi ji's good time is continuing for some more time. And for India, basically India's chart also suggests a progressive and positive leadership. So all these factors combine to result in a win for Narendra Modi ji. But at the same time, a party with a very heavy socialist agenda, the India Alliance, they did do better than analysts expected. So that is coming from that macro astrological baseline trend basically. Oh, so actually on that note, from next March, Saturn will be in Pisces, so he's not anymore strong. Saturn will become weak, and then particularly from May June 2025, May 2020, not 2025, 2026. A couple of years, Jupiter will be very strong, either exalted or in a friendly sign. So if BJP wants to hold next elections, midterm elections before finishing the term, May 2026 till July 2028 is the best time to do it. Then BJP will have great success. And in general, conservative parties, right-wing parties across the world will have a lot of success in that period. Now, what is ahead for India? So, I showed last time that the current annual charts, both solar and lunar, are not great for India. They show a lot of problems, turbulence, anxiety, etc. Just based on those charts, I would have predicted a change of government. But the thing is, from a long-term perspective, India basically is rising. India is ascending. So I basically said that these negative years don't show a reversal, they just show a small break basically. So that is what I said in my last video. And similarly, if you look at in this video, I will show the next year's chart, which will start in August 2024. So next year looks much better than the last year. So basically whatever setbacks India had, or whatever chaos or turbulence India had politically over the last year, is basically coming to an end. There will be stability and India will start looking ahead. And I don't see fall of government and any political chaos. I see Narendra Modi ji being more assertive and governing India very capably in the coming year. From August, things will be better for BJP, and particularly from next March, after Saturn moves sign, it will be even better for BJP and India. And for BJP, I will show, apart from the factors I showed earlier, there are some more factors that made me concerned. That is why I was not very excited about BJP prospects in this election in my videos. So I will cover some of those astrologically in the astrological section. But the thing is, the bad times are almost over. The April, May, June, July times are somewhat concerning for BJP because of a transit, which I will mention later. But the thing is, things are going to improve from August onwards, and particularly from next March, things will be much better for BJP. And moreover, for Congress, coming few months, August, September, October, November, these months, and particularly after March, these times are problematic for Congress. So the thing is, people are concerned that with the history of Sri Nitish Kumar ji of joining NDA, leaving NDA, joining NDA, and leaving NDA, and also with the history of Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu, the Telugu Desam Party Supremo from AP. He also was with NDA in 2014 but left in 2019 and said nasty things about Modi ji in 2019. So people are concerned validly that one of them may withdraw support and NDA may not have majority, and then they may have to depend on and then Rahul Gandhi may come to power. But looking at the charts of BJP and Congress, and particularly the charts of Modi ji and Rahul Gandhi ji, I do not see that potential at all. If anything, NDA may be able to sway some parties from the India alliance into NDA. NDA may grow over time, particularly after September or more so after next March. Basically, next March onwards is a time of consolidation for NDA and BJP. So I don't see that potential. And moreover, Rahul Gandhi's chart does not show becoming prime minister in general, but particularly in the next few years. So I do think that Narendra Modi ji will remain the prime minister. Uh, he may not complete the term, but the thing is, it will be closer to completing the term, 3 or 4 years, and after that, they may voluntarily call for elections, and that may be advantageous to them. But for now, I do expect Narendra Modi ji to remain the prime minister, and either before the next elections or at the time of next elections, he may step down and give a chance to another leader, and that we will discuss in a future video. But for now, for the next year or two, there is no danger to Narendra Modi ji. He will, but there will be some limits on his power. There will be some constraints and compromises that he will have to operate under. But within those, he will govern assertively, and there is no potential for Rahul Gandhi. As a matter of fact, his best is over. His best was basically June 2023 till June 2024. That was his best. After his birthday in June 2024, the next year is not so good for him. So, particularly from next March, we will see some trouble for Rahul Gandhi ji and Congress and India alliance. So, as I said in a previous video, Congress will be actually better off moving on from Rahul Gandhi to Priyanka Gandhi. They will have more success with Priyanka. Unfortunately or fortunately, because of the current success with Rahul, they may be tempted to think that, okay, Rahul is now turning things around, so they may stick with Rahul, and that will be a blessing in disguise for BJP because his bestie is now behind him. And as I said, I came across the chart of Sri Devendra Fadnavis, former Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and I will show in the astrological portion again. But till 2019 August was a terrific period for him. He was the Chief Minister of the state then, and 2019 August a bad time started, and that is when he lost the Chief Minister post. And the bad time is still continuing. It is till 2026 August, but 2026 August till 2046 August is a golden period for him. He has a really powerful chart, and people who may think that because of the things that happened in the last few years since 2019, people who may be thinking that he's down, his best is over, they are badly mistaken. His best is way ahead of him. Between 2026 and 2046, he will rise to great heights, both in state politics and more importantly in the national politics. He may be BJP president one day in that period. This chart has potential to be prime minister one day, just like Yogi Adityanath, Annamalai, Devendra Fadnavis ji can become prime minister one day. This is a very powerful chart, but his worst period is going on right now, and still he's managing okay. And from 2024 August, there will be some relief. Things will improve for him, but 2024 August, but from August 2026 onward, 2024 October onwards, there will be some improvement for him, but particularly from 2026 August, things will be brilliant for him. So this is somebody that you want to keep on your radar. I will show his chart later, but his chart has some combinations similar to Sri Amit Shah ji and Sri PVR Narasimha Rao ji. He'll be a great strategician, strategic thinker, brilliant, smart person, extremely sharp, and he's here to stay. He's basically, his best is not over, his best is ahead of him. And he has a few decades of amazing career ahead of him. So that is good for BJP. Now, let us go through some astrological analysis behind some of my conclusions. Those who only want predictions and no astrological analysis can drop off now. I will try to minimize repetition from the previous videos, so I will directly jump to the topics I covered under what is ahead. Let us start with India's chart. Though I covered it in the last video, I think it's worth mentioning again. If you look at the 2023 annual chart, annual solar return chart, Tajka chart, you will see that it was on August 14 at 8:45 a.m. So if you see this chart, you will see that Lagna Lord Mercury is in the 12th house of losses, afflicted by functional malefic Mars, who's the third and eighth lord of setbacks, anxieties, etc. And the seventh lord Jupiter is in the eighth house, becoming a Maraka, and Rahu is afflicting him. So there is a Gurjandala Yoga. So there are some blessings also, but basically these two combinations are really pretty bad. Similarly, if you look at the Tithi Pravesh chart, if one of Tajaka is good and Tithi Pravesh is bad, maybe things will be mixed. But when Tithi Pravesh chart is also basically the same way. In the 2023 Tithi Pravesh chart, which was on the same day but at a slightly different time, uh, again the 7th Lord Jupiter is in the 8th house, afflicted by Rahu. Lagna Lord Mercury is in the 12th house of losses, afflicted by Mars, the Lord of the 8th house of anxiety, setbacks, ups and downs, etc. So there are basically the year from August 2023 till August 2024 is a pretty problematic year for India. It can be a year of big setbacks, losses, etc. So this was one of the factors that made me concerned about the results of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. But the thing is, because the long-term trend of India is very positive, I concluded that this will just be a blip. This will not reverse the direction of India, but it will just cause some breaks. Now, let us look at the 2024, the coming year, which is just in a month. So when is it actually? The Tithi one will start on August 2nd, 2024. So, in this chart, you can see that the Lagna Lord Mars is in the 7th house, a quadrant, and the 5th Lord Jupiter is with him. So, there is a Rajayoga between them. And if you look at the longitudes, Mars is at 15 degree, Jupiter is at 21 degree, and Jupiter's aspect on Lagna is almost exact. So, this yoga is also close enough. So, Lagna Lord and 5th Lord together and aspecting Lagna. That's a powerful Raj Yoga. And also the 10th Lord Sun is in the 9th house. And Moon in the 8th is problematic, but there are enough blessings here. So this is a much better chart than the last year's chart. Similarly, let's look at Tajaka chart to see if it is confirming or contradicting. So in the Tajaka chart, you will see that Lagna contains the 9th Lord Moon and Mars and Jupiter. Lagna Lord and 5th Lord are in the 7th house. So if you look at longitudes, Moon is at 6 degrees, so it's not that close, but Mars and Jupiter are even closer than in the Tripravesh chart. So the yoga between Lagna Lord and the 5th Lord is very powerful. So this is a very powerful chart. Even Dashamsha chart, which shows the governance in the country, the 9th Lord Mercury and the 5th Lord Saturn are together in the Lagna, and the 10th Lord Moon is in the 5th house. So overall, this is a pretty good chart. So as I said in my last video before the elections, India's long-term graph is going upwards. India's destiny, India is basically after about 1000 years of suffering, now India is on the verge of a really, really positive period, and the current period, the current few decades is a period when India will rise. And within that, we went through a bad year from August 2023 till August 2024, but the next year is a very positive year. So some people may be concerned that because of the election results in June 2024, there may be political instability, there may be chaos in the country, and the NDA government may fall, etc. But the thing is, what I see astrologically is the instability and the slightly chaotic situation that we see in India now, the political turbulence will settle down. After the Independence Day, from August, September onwards, the coming year is a much better year for India. Now, there is one more factor that I did not mention earlier that I was really concerned about. I looked at the charts of BJP and Congress in the last video before the elections, when I said that it will be closer than people expect, and BJP may not get 400, 350 and so on. So in that video, I looked at the BJP charts, annual chart, BJP party's annual charts and Congress party's annual charts, there was another factor that I was really concerned about. That is, if you look at Sun, who shows political power in BJP party's chart, he's at 24 Pisces, 24-degree Pisces. Okay, just note that. And Lagna Lord Mercury is at 26 degree 40 minutes Aquarius, and Moon, the other luminary who shows the state of mind, he's at 26:55 in Scorpio. So Mercury and Moon are very almost at the same longitudes, around 26 degree, and Sun is at 24 degree. So if we look at the transits, let's say around in the middle of the elections, let's say May 1st, if you look at the transits, you will see that Saturn is at 23 Aquarius 40. So he is actually within 3 degrees. He is afflicting the Lagna Lord. He is influencing the Lagna Lord, and he is, more importantly, he has 10th aspect on Moon, natal Moon of BJP chart. So it shows some negative mood for the party during that time. Similarly, Rahu, the planet of intrigue and setbacks and shocks and cheating, etc., he's at 22 degree Pisces. So if you remember, 24 degree Pisces is where Sun is in BJP party's chart. So basically, Sun, the planet of power, is coming under Rahu's influence of some shock and setbacks, and Moon, the planet that shows mood, is coming under the influence of Saturn. So who's the planet of sadness, depression, etc. So that is why in the May, June, July time period, there is some scope for some anxiety, some sense of shock and sadness, etc. for the BJP party. So that is what that is one of the factors I was concerned about. That is why originally when I said that it will be much closer than people may expect, I also said it is even possible that they may not get, BJP may not get majority on their own and may have to depend on allies. That's what I said in the February video. And this is one of the factors I was really concerned about. When I see in party charts, Lagna may or may not be very accurate because the time may or may not be, but Moon and Sun will be accurate. So the transit influences are pretty problematic. So but the thing is, good news is, if you wait enough, Rahu, let us see actually right now, Rahu is at 17 degrees. So he is already 7 degrees away from Sun. So basically the Rahu influence on Sun has weakened. But unfortunately Saturn influence is still, Saturn is now exactly at 26 degrees Aquarius. So he is basically affecting the natal Lagna Lord and natal Moon. So, but the thing is, Saturn is going to move away, and particularly after March 2025, he is going to enter Pisces. So from spring 2025 onwards, basically the negative sense and the sense that we lost or something bad is happening to us will basically go away for the BJP party. So the future looks bright. Basically, the elections were held at a time that was problematic for BJP, but the future looks very bright. And it's basically within a year, before August 2025, things should be in a much better shape for the BJP party. The mood in the party should be more upbeat. And let us look at the Congress party, Indira Congress party. So if you look at their chart, Lagna is at 16 degree Pisces, and more importantly, Moon. Oh, by the way, Rahu and Ketu are also at 18 degrees Virgo and Pisces. Moon, the planet that shows mood, is at 16 degree Virgo. So you have basically Moon at 16 degrees. And if you look at the current position of planets, Rahu is coming close to that 16 degrees. He is approaching the degree. So in the next few months, he will be basically within a few degrees from natal Lagna as well as natal Moon. So basically, as things improve for BJP, things basically get worse for the Congress party. So the thing is, based on this, it is reasonable to think that things will improve for the BJP party. And basically, whatever BJP supporters are imagining now, all the dangers, etc., for their party, these are all really imagined dangers. They won't pan out. And then in a few months, Congress may actually be in more trouble. Now let us look at the charts of Sri Narendra Modi ji and Rahul Gandhi ji. First, let us look at the chart of Rahul Gandhi ji. So, if you look at his Tajika chart for 2023, which is from June 2023 till June 2024, which is when the elections were held, you can see that in this chart, see there is one big weakness. Lagna Lord Sun in the 12th house of Las in Manakarka Sthana, afflicted by Rahu. So that basically does not show a great year for career. But 9th Lord Mars in the 9th house and 5th Lord Jupiter is in Lagna. So those are blessings. So that is why I said in my February and May videos that things are better for Rahul Gandhi than in the past. But at the same time, Narendra Modi's chart outweighs this chart. So basically I expected him to win. But Rahul Gandhi will have a better performance than in the past, or better performance than expected. And there will be reasons to feel satisfied in career. And similarly, if you look at the Tithi Pravesh chart of 2023, 5th house of power has exalted Venus, the 7th lord, and 9th lord moon, Bhagyadipati, is exalted in the 7th house, and Lagna lord Mars is in the 10th house. So there are, and 5th lord Jupiter is in the 11th house and having a Samsaptaka with Venus. Actually, it's not that close. If you look at the longitudes, it's not that close. So the yoga between Venus and Jupiter is not that strong, but basically 5th house is pretty strong, being aspected by its own lord and having an exalted planet. So there are some blessings, even though the 8th axis is very, very powerful. So there are some positives. So the thing is, annual charts are basically, they modulate what the destiny is shown by dasyas and transits. They don't basically replace the. If an annual chart is good, it doesn't mean the person will become prime minister, because the potential is not there in the natal chart and the transits are also not great. He did not win any power, but the thing is, at least his party had a credible performance, especially his alliance. More than the party, the alliance, Indy alliance, had a credible performance. So, but the thing is, look at the next year's chart. I mean, which has already kicked in. The next year has already kicked in. June 22. So a few days back, his new lunar year started. And if you look at this chart, you will see that, let's look at Dasyamsha. Rashi chart looks pretty good, but if you look at the Dasyamsha chart, actually this Dasyamsha also looks pretty good. You will see that Lagna Lord Saturn is exalted and is in the 11th house, Bhadakasthana, but still he is well placed. More importantly, Yokaraka Venus is in Mula Trikona. So there is some good strength. But the negative is the Bhadaka Lord in the 9th house is never good for fortune. If Bhadaka Lord is in the 9th house, it shows basically being denied fortune. And the 8th house is very strong. Sun and Ketu combination is there, and Rahu is the 2nd Lord, he is aspecting them. So basically there is a Marka combination in the Dasyamsha. But the thing is, this is a pretty decent chart, though there are some serious negatives. But look at Tajika chart. If you look at the Tajika chart, you will see that the 5th house contains the Marka from it, the 6th Lord, who is the 2nd Lord from 5th house, and the Saturn is in the 8th house. So basically there aren't any strong indications of power in this chart basically. So this is, moreover, Venus is in Manakarka Sthana. Venus is, if he is alone, 8th Lord in the 6th would have been Viparita Raj Yoga, but he is with the 9th Lords, Mars and Ketu, benefit. So he is spoiling them. So Manakarka Sthana Venus, the Marka, spoiling Bhagya. So basically this is not a good year for his Bhagya in career to rise. And moreover, as I said earlier, if you look at his dasyas, people may look at his Rasi Vimshotri Dasya. I believe it's Vimshotri that applies in the Rasi. Yeah, Ashtotri in the Dasyamsha. So people may think that he is running Rahu Dasya. Rahu is the 5th Lord of power and so on. And currently he is running Saturn in the Dasya from 2023 October till 2026 August. So people may think that this is a good period. But the thing is, if you look at the Dasyamsha, if you look at the Ashtotri Dasya of Dasyamsha, you will see that he is still running Venus Dasha. And Venus is the Lagna Lord in the 12th house of losses. So overall, this is basically a period that suggests losses for him. And uh, if you look at the Antardasha in the Venus Mahadasha, the Antardasha that is running right now is that of Jupiter. And if you look at Jupiter, he is basically from Venus. He is the 4th and 7th Lord in the 3rd house, and he is aspecting the Lagna Lord Mercury. By the way, there is a Parivartana between Mercury and Venus. So, so the Lagna Lord and the 10th Lord from the Dasha Lagna is being aspected by Jupiter. And so this is basically a pretty decent period for him. But the thing is, he is running the Venus Rahu period after that, and Rahu is in the 10th house from Venus and is the 6th Lord. So it's not really, neither Jupiter nor Rahu honestly show any power. And moreover, Venus Dasha itself has no potential for power. So the good indications we see in the Tajaka and Tithi don't really result in some tangible power. So the thing is, of course, the narrative is that he just needs a couple of NDA partners to basically leave NDA and join his alliance, and then he can become prime minister. But it's not likely at all in the coming few years. And secondly, if you look at the transits, his moon is in Dhanu Rasi. So right now Saturn is in the 3rd house. These couple of years are a pretty good transit for him. Though Ketu in the 10th house basically creates problems in career, and Rahu in the 4th basically. Rahu and Ketu are bad transits. And currently Jupiter is also in the 6th house, not good. But the thing is, Saturn is in the 3rd house. So, and Saturn is an important planet for him because he is the 5th Lord of power in the Rasi chart. And even in the Dashamsa, he is the 5th Lord of power. So, he is an important planet for political power. So, he is in the 3rd house. So, that is why there is some level of power. He is basically at least the leader of opposition. So, that is because of the powerful Saturn transit. But in March 2025, Saturn is going to move away. So, from March onwards, he will have Saturn and Rahu in the 4th house. So, Ardhashtama Sani, Kantaka Sani. Ardhashtama Sani and basically Sukhasthana will have Sani and Rahu. So, no Sukha. And Ketu is in the 10th house, Karmasthana. So, basically depletion of career. And for a while, Jupiter will eventually move to Gemini, but for a while after Saturn moves here, Jupiter will be in the 6th house. That will be a terrible time. So, the March, April, May, that period is a very problematic time for him. So, overall, combining the natal dasha, Tajaka chart, Tithi Pravesh chart and transits, I don't really see rosy future for Mr. Rahul Gandhi. He will struggle, and I still repeat what I said in the previous videos. If Congress party thinks that Rahul Gandhi is leading them in the right direction because under his leadership, the party basically had their alliance had a credible performance in this election, they are unfortunately making a mistake. If they move on from him, Priyanka has a better chance of leading the party to greater heights. But if you are a BJP supporter, you will want Rahul Gandhi to continue. But in any case, the fear that some BJP supporters have that Rahul Gandhi will suddenly become Prime Minister, I do not expect that to happen at all. Now let us look at the chart of Narendra Modi ji. If you look at the chart of Tajaka chart of 2023, if you look at the Tajaka chart of 2023, you will see that, you may think that Lagna Lord, Saturn and Yokarka, Venus are together, but the thing is, if you look at the longitudes in Dashamshas, Venus is at 19 degree. Oh, they are together. Sorry, they are together. So, the Lagna Lord and the 9th and the 4th and 5th, 9th Lord are together in the 4th house, very strong. So, this is basically a very positive combination. This is a good combination, but the thing is the 5th Lord of power, Mercury, is in the 12th house. So, it shows some kind of loss or setback relating to power if the 5th Lord is in the 12th house. But overall, this is a very positive chart. And if you look at the Tithi Pravesh chart of 2023, Yeah, here uh, Venus at 29 degree Aries and Saturn at 0 degree Taurus are basically effectively together. They are in the fifth house. So Lagna Lord and the fifth Lord together. So basically it's a nice combination. So it shows continuation of power. It doesn't show losing power, but the seventh and eighth lords together in Lagna. So that's a Marka combination. Sixth, seventh, and eighth lords together in Lagna. That's basically that shows some stress during the year, some setbacks in the year. So that is why I was concerned that there may be some setbacks. Oh, by the way, I was right. Uh, in the Tajaka chart, Saturn and Venus are not really. I was looking at the wrong. It's not 21 degrees, 2 degree Taurus. So I read it as 21. So 19 degree and 3 degree. So basically Saturn and Venus yoga is not that powerful. So it's a weak, very weak yoga. But the bottom line is Yokarka Venus in own house is pretty good. So that's basically a blessing. But fifth lord in the 12th house shows some compromise when it comes to power. So that is the current year. And let us look at how the next year is after 2024. And if you look at the next year's chart, you will see that see again fifth lord Saturn is in the 12th house. It shows making some compromises relating to power. But the thing is, the Lagna Lord is in one house, even though 8th house. 8th Lord in the 8th can show sudden, unexpected, positive developments. But more importantly, the Sun, Moon, and Mercury are in the 5th house. So, there is a Dharma Karmadhyat Yoga, 9th Lord and 10th Lord in the 5th house. They are not that close, so it is very weak. So, just like in the other chart, 2023 chart, there is a Raj Yoga in the 5th house of power, but it is weak. So, it basically shows continuing the power, but basically not a very emphatic position like in the past, like in previous years. And if you look at the Tithi Pravesh chart now, in this chart, Lagna Lord Saturn is in the 9th house of fortune, which is good, and the 9th Lord Mercury is also with him. If you look at the longitudes in the Bhava Chakra, you see that they are together. So I don't know how close they are. They are probably not that close. Mercury is at 9 Libra, Saturn is at 18 Virgo. So they are not really close. So there is no yoga between them, but still the 9th Lord in the 9th house in a friendly sign, in an Adhimitra Rasi, and then the Lagna Lord in the 9th house, again in an Adhimitra Rasi. So shows basically that this is basically a blessing. But at the same time, 7th Lord and 8th Lord are together and they are afflicted by Rahu. So there is some tensions here. But overall, so what we can expect based on this is some relief, but basically not complete, complete success, but basically some relief and continued power. But the bottom line is, if people are concerned that NDA may break and Nitish Kumar ji and Nara Chandrababu Naidu ji may withdraw support and Modi may lose power, that doesn't seem, or they may put pressure to basically appoint somebody else as the Prime Minister in the place of Modi. I don't see those happening in the current year. Modi ji, even though there will be some pressures, some compromises to be made, he will keep the power. So I don't see a potential for Rahul Gandhi ji. And then I will look at this chart in more detail later, but I just wanted to, I recently came across the chart of Sri Devendra Fadnavis ji, the former Chief Minister of Maharashtra. So I just wanted to share some initial thoughts on his chart. I can do a proper video, a longer video on his chart later on. This is a very powerful chart. If you look at the Rasi chart, Lagna is Kanya Lagna, owned by Mercury, and Mercury, the Lagna Lord, a planet of logic and analytical thinking, he is with two fiery planets, Mars and Sun. So that shows basically a fiery intellect, very sharp person. If you guys may remember that former Prime Minister of India, Sri PVR Narasimha Rao, he also had Kanya Lagna and Mercury with Sun and Mars, but in the 10th house, not the 11th house. But basically when Lagna Lord is Mercury, in general Kanya Lagna people are usually sharp and intelligent, and especially if Mercury is under the influence of Mars or Sun or both, they will be very sharp. So he has very sharp intellect. And if you look at the dashas, so some people say that he is like a Chanakya, and the chart does suggest, just like PV Narasimha Rao ji, he was an upper Chanakya. Similarly, Devendra Fadnavis ji is an upper Chanakya. By the way, Amit Shah also has Kanya Lagna, just like PV Narasimha Rao and Devendra Fadnavis. See, if you look at the dashas, Mercury Dasha was from 2000 October till 2017 October. So he became chief minister in this period. And Mercury is a pretty good planet for him. Mercury is a very strong planet for him. But if you look at the next Dasha, 2017 October, he started Ketu Dasha. In 2019 elections, his alliance won, but one of the alliance partners basically switched the alliance and basically he had to sit in opposition. So all those setbacks occurred in Ketu period. Ketu is in the 12th house. So it is good for spiritual progress, but it's not good for material success. Ketu in the 12th gives some losses and setbacks. And Venus is the Bhagyadipati, the 9th lord. So 9th lord of fortune is afflicted by Ketu. So this is basically not a good materialistic dasha. So 2017 till 2024 is a problematic dasha for him. But the good news is, he's very soon, in a few months, he's about to start Venus dasha. And Venus is the 9th lord. Though he's in the 12th house, he is the 9th lord in a Kendra from the 9th house. So he will give excellent fortune in this period. So I don't expect, of course, we'll look at the Dashamsa to see the career closer. But based on the Rasi chart itself, I don't expect him to go into some kind of oblivion. He is here to stay. He will have an important role. Now, let us look at the Dashamsa. This is a very powerful chart. In the Dashamsa chart, you see that Moon and Mercury are together. The Lagna Lord Mars and 9th Lord Moon are together in the 11th house and aspecting the 5th house of power. So Lagna Lord, 9th Lord together aspecting 5th house. That is excellent combination. So this is a nice Raj Yoga. Similarly, other Lagna Lord Ketu is in Lagna with the 5th Lord Jupiter. So Jupiter and Ketu being together is another powerful Raj Yoga. And this Raj Yoga is even closer because Ketu is at 19 degrees and Jupiter is also at around 20 degrees, Scorpio. So within 1 degree, there is a conjunction between 5th Lord and Lagna Lord. Very powerful Raj Yoga. Now, the best Dasha in his Dashamsa is Dvadashotri. So if you find the Dvadashotri Dasha of Dashamsa, see, Moon Dasha ran from 1998 till 2019. This was a great period. He kept rising in this period. And particularly 2014, October 31 is when he became the Chief Minister of Maharashtra state. I think it's the most popular state. Maybe not at that time. Never mind. So it was Moon Mars Antardasha. Moon Dasha Mars Antardasha. See, they are the planets giving this powerful yoga, Raj Yoga. Particularly if you look at the Prachanta Dasha. Yeah. September 5, 2014, September 5 till December 7. So it was October 31. So it was in this Prachanta Dasha. So it was Moon, Mars, Jupiter, 9th Lord Dasha, Lagna Lord Antardasha and 5th Lord Prachanta Dasha. So this period was superb. So it makes perfect sense that he became the Chief Minister then. But the problem is, in 2019 August, Sun Dasha started. Sun's Dvadashotri Dasha started. And in 2019 October or November, elections were held, and basically that's when he lost his chief minister post. He started to sit in the opposition. So that is because Sun is the 10th lord of career. He's in the 12th house, debilitated. So he's in Manakarkasthana. He's a debilitated 12th house of losses. So this was a bad dasha for him. This is a bad dasha. This is for another couple of years. So based on Vimshotri, we saw that from 2014 August, things will be better for him. But in the chart that shows career, his real bad period ends in August 2026. So basically next couple of years are an average period. But the interesting thing is 2026 August till 2046 August is Jupiter and Ketu dashas. And they are the Lagna Lord and 5th Lord in Lagna giving a Maharaj Yoga. Very powerful combination. So this is such a powerful chart that the Dashamsa is so powerful that I will not be surprised if one day, especially during Jupiter or Ketu periods, perhaps Ketu period, he even becomes the Prime Minister of India. So this is basically a very powerful chart. So there can be some setbacks temporarily, and even in the November elections, it may not be perfect for him. But the thing is, the uh, the long term looks pretty good for him. And moreover, given that based on Rasi Kedasha is ending, there should be some improvement this year itself. But from 2026 August onwards, things will be really great for him. And a 20 years of golden period is coming in his political career. So this is a very powerful chart, and this person will shine in the state level politics, and more importantly in the national level politics. He may play some important roles at the national level, and particularly in this period, and finally possibly rise to the position of prime minister. So this is apart from the charts of Narendra Modi ji, Yogi Adityanath ji, and Annamalai ji, this is another powerful BJP chart that I have seen with potential to be prime minister. So on that note, I will end this video. Thank you very much. Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Lokas Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Yavad Bhumandale Sanatana Dharmo Vardhatu. विशेषतः भारतखंडे अमेरिका वर्षे टिबेट राष्ट्रे च ओम शांति शांति शांति।